as ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In a major story, Chief Justice of Nigeria Mahmoud Mohammed promises to build on the legacies of his predecessor, Aloma Mukhtar. Also in this program, the All Progressive Congress postpones its House of Assembly primaries nationwide to commiserate with victims of Kano mosque bombing. Ekiti State chapter of the PDP expresses optimism on the emergence of a patriotic House of Assembly after 2015 general elections. And outside Nigeria, voters in Switzerland reject moves to curb migrants in a referendum. And now the headlines. Chief Justice of Nigeria Mahmoud Mohammed has promised to ensure that an independent and efficient judiciary is in place during his about 2-year tenure. Mohammed spoke in Abuja at a dinner held in his honor by former President of the Court of Appeal, Umaru Abdullahi. He said his understanding of the workings and challenges of the judiciary will help to ensure that a functional judiciary capable of meeting the people's needs was in place. He added, with the support of good minds in the National Judicial Council, he would build on the structure left by his immediate predecessor, Aloma Mukhtar, in achieving his set objectives. President Goodluck Jonathan has described former Foreign Affairs Minister Olubenga Ashiru as an exemplary diplomat who gave his most productive years to the patriotic service of his nation. Jonathan said in a statement issued by his spokesman, Reuben Abati, that Nigeria would always owe the late minister a debt of gratitude for his notable contributions to the establishment of mutually beneficial relationships with other countries. He added that the late diplomat will be remembered as one of an elite few, where after a distinguished career in the foreign service was recalled from retirement to serve as Minister of Foreign Affairs in recognition of his widely acknowledged leadership qualities and diplomatic skills. Ambassador Ashiru died on Saturday in a South African hospital during a protracted illness. And away from that now, the All Progressive Congress says it has postponed its House of Assembly primaries scheduled for Monday, December 1st across the nation by a day, as a mark of respect for those who were killed in Friday's terrorist attack on the Central Jamaat Mosque in Kano, and in sympathy with those who were injured or affected one way or the other by the senseless attack. This was contained in a statement issued in Lagos by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed. The party said the House of Assembly primaries will now hold on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, while date for all other primaries remain unchanged. The party described the attack as a monumental national tragedy, disclosing that the party cannot be oblivious to the plight of the victims of the absolutely condemnable and totally incomprehensible attack on defenseless citizens in such a hallowed place as a mosque. In an earlier statement, the party had condemned in the strongest extent possible the attack on the innocent worshippers and vowed that terrorism will never prevail no matter how long it takes. It also urged all citizens to demonstrate the Nigerian spirit of compassion and strength of character by providing succor and support to one another. The All Progressive Congress in Lagos State says its primaries for the State House of Assembly will hold on Tuesday, 2nd December 2015 in compliance with the directives of the national leadership of the party. Vice Chairman Funsho Ologude made the disclosure of a decision he said was made to sympathize with victims of the kind of bomb blast. A correspondent of Mataya Law, who visited the party's state secretariat, has more in this report.
The Lagos APC Secretariat was a beef of activities as party members and aspirants in the forthcoming primaries for the Lagos State House of Assembly all came to see how the preparation was going. But the state chapter, through its vice chairman, Funsho Ologunde, says it will go ahead a day later than planned.
We need to show solidarity and identify with the family of the deceased.
In their reactions, these APC chieftains were pleased with the development, while disclosing that they will return on Monday to go ahead with the preparation for the primaries.
It is our prayer that the Lord, whom we all serve, will grant their families the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
I think I'm in line with the postponement. Yeah, I think it's in good faith.
These aspirants for the Ajeromi Felodo constituency have this to say on why they have offered themselves for service.
In my constituency, our youth is lacking job. Most of them are jobless. I want to end the thuggery of our youth in the constituency.
If the party slogan says change, I think it's about time we changed the person representing us since 1999.
That place looks like a rural area and is in an urban area. So we want to correct that impression. We want people to... The place is well populated and we don't have government attention.
Another aspirant, Tajuddin Adebola, applauded the All Progressives Congress for the peaceful and transparent preparation towards the primaries.
Everything is going on orderly. In fact, it only shows that the party is very, very democratic. No animosity from every quarters, and they are very transparent.
The vice chairman of the party, Funsho Ologunde, however, hinted that the primaries will be conducted at the local council development areas, adding that the most popular candidates will emerge as the party's choice for each constituency.
We have 40 constituencies and each ward will fall into the constituency to which it belongs for the purpose of attendance at the primaries.
While the atmosphere is characterized with peace during this period of preparation, the result of the primaries will show if this atmosphere will persist. Omotayo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Kano State Governor and All Progressive Congress presidential aspirant Rabiu Kwankwaso says the emergence of President Goodluck Jonathan as the sole candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the 2015 presidential poll shows that the ruling party has fallen from grace to grass. Kwankwaso, while speaking to journalists in Enugu shortly after meeting with the party's national delegate at the state party secretariat, says there is nothing wrong with APC having multiple presidential aspirants. He says the fact that his party has many aspirants is a positive, as many parties have no presidential aspirant, pointing out that the PDP had always recorded several aspirants at its presidential primaries. The governor argued that the absence of any challenge to Jonathan's candidacy means that times have changed for the party. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says the All Progressive Congress will resist any form of rigging by the ruling People's Democratic Party in the 2015 general elections. Atiku, a presidential aspirant of the All Progressive Congress, held a series of meetings with delegates from Ondo State and the party's executive members at separate venues in Akure as he continues his bids to clinch the party's ticket. He said the party will insist on free and fair polls in 2015.
We will insist on free and fair elections because under this government you have to insist on your right, otherwise they don't give it to you on a platter of gold.
And what do you think are your chances of winning this election?
Very bright. I mean, APC has all what it takes to win this election. Nobody wants PDP anymore.
37 lawmakers were among the aspirants who failed to clinch the People's Democratic Party ticket for next year's State House of Assembly election in Edo State after the party's primaries. The lawmakers representing Asian North, East 2, Igweben and Issac West 1 constituencies, Emma Okodua, Kingsley, Ihigiamuso, and Rasak Momo all lost out. However, PDP factional speaker Festus Ebia and 2 other members, Patrick Ilobe and Monde Ehigalu, all secured the party's tickets and opposed for Asian Southeast, Asian Northeast 1 and Asian West, respectively. In Ohiomo 1, incumbent legislator Friday Ogirahi beat Osahon Ahuan and Austin Osawaro to the party's ticket, while Nusa Adams, who is facing trial for alleged attempted murder during the party's World Congress, also defeated Melody Ekunwe to pick the party's flag for Ego constituency. Uyo Gbemudia, daughter of former military governor of the defunct Maid West State, Samuel Ogbemudia, picked other contenders to pick the PDP ticket for Oredo West, while in Oredo East constituency, Leon Okoro emerged winner of the primary. However, Edo State Commissioner of Police Folusho Adebanjo, who was seen monitoring the primary for Oredo West and East, described the exercise as peaceful. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We're back after this break. Speaker Aminu Tambuwa clear for APC governorship primaries in Sokoto State. Join us for more details after this timeout.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Glad to have you back now. If you are just joining us, you can also reach us on a social media platform. But before then, let's quickly remind you of some of our top stories that made headlines tonight. Chief Justice of Nigeria Mahmoud Mohammed promises to build on the legacies of his predecessor, Aloma Mukhtar. The All Progressive Congress postpones its House of Assembly primaries nationwide to commiserate with victims of Karl Marx bombing. The Ekiti State chapter of the PDP expresses optimism on the emergence of a patriotic House of Assembly after 2015 general elections. Log on to our social media platform is facebook.com/CoreTV News and our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And for our previous production, you can also log on to youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. After the long-standing disagreement over the list of delegates, a common ground was later agreed upon between stakeholders of the PDP in Adamawa State and the committee saddled with the responsibility of conducting the party's House of Assembly primary election. With the Adamawa State House of Assembly primary started with the distribution of electoral materials. Electoral officers and security agents have since been dispatched to various constituencies. The mood was charged throughout the night as a major participant kept vigil to monitor happenings. Party chairman Joe Madaki informed journalists that the right thing had been done by respecting the court decision, where an authentic list will now be used.
It has been conciled. When I say it has been conciled, it has been adopted. There is no question to it because all the delegates and everybody has agreed. You see, are the delegate to be used. But the doctor delegate, you cannot doctor anything that you don't make. You see, if it is doctoring, if it is anything, it must be done by the people of Adamawa State and in Adamawa State. not from the National Secretariat. The National Secretariat there is to make sure that things are done correctly and things are done in a very nice way. And if they said what we are using is not the correct one, it's left to them to call all and sundry from the state and ask them whether the method followed was faulty or not.
So today, they commence distribution of election materials, and it is being done transparently, openly, in the presence of everybody. So as far as I am concerned, it is very, very transparent. It is upright, and we believe popular candidates will emerge so that they can ensure the victory of PDP at all subsequent elections. Thank you very much.
And about 7 local government areas affected by insurgency will carry out their votings in various centers within the state capital. Away from that now, the leadership of the Ekiti State People's Democratic Party says it will sweep all seats in the Ekiti State House of Assembly election come 2015 to produce an assembly that will work for the progress of the state. The chairman of the party, Ido Fale, made his disclosure after the party's House of Assembly primaries in Ado-Ekiti. A correspondent, Rashid, has more in this report.
The decision by Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose in putting back the picture of former Governor Segun Oni, who was sacked by the Court of Appeal in Ilorin in 2010 to its former place, has its significance, as explained by the governor.
Today, formally, I'm acknowledging that Segun Oni has contributed his quota. That remains a statement of fact. We can talk to each other any which way when we talk politics. But in issues of reality, you can't take away the roads, the policies of Segun Oni, the roads, the goodwill, the few things he was able to achieve in his tenure. So for me, Segun Oni is restored as governor that has served in this state.
But while reacting in an interview with CoreTV News in Osogbo, the immediate past governor of Ekiti, Kayode Fayemi, dismissed Fayose's action as an afterthought of what he has done while in office as governor of the state.
I don't play games with the people. In all my period in office, everybody knew that I had nothing but respect and admiration for all the people who had occupied the positions before me. At no time were any privileges removed from Governor Oni, and at no time has any privilege been restored back to Governor Oni. I challenge whoever is telling you that to bring evidence of what has been restored. Governor Oni's photograph did not leave my office for one day in all my 4 years in office. So what is being replaced if it was never removed? So if people want to play games, they can play games.
But for Segun Oni, he appreciates the gesture by Fayose, but with reservations.
It is so, I want to thank him. And I want to say that I appreciate that gesture for whatever it is. But that does also not change my position, because where I'm standing on principles. Without malice to anybody, I'm standing for development of the people, not just of Ekiti, of Nigeria. I'm standing for progress. I'm standing for the change that is going to liberate the people of Nigeria.
With the 2015 general elections looming large, this gesture is definitely not enough to bring the leaders out of the trenches of war. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Well, we apologize for that mix-up there. The All Progressive Congress Governorship Screening Committee for the Northwest Zone has cleared Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, for the 2015 governorship election in Sokoto State. Tambuwal, who spoke to journalists after his clearance by the committee, says he's opposed to the calls for the shift of the 2015 general elections. The Speaker says other countries who are passing through worse challenges have held elections, positing that Nigeria should not be an exception. He called on the federal government to do more to address the issue of insurgency in the country so that Nigerians can come out en masse to vote in the general elections. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto and leader of Muslims in Nigeria, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, says all Islamic sects in the country must unite and fight Boko Haram insurgency. The Sultan, while condemning the suicide bomb blast at the Kano Central Mosque on Friday, which left about 120 worshippers dead and many others injured, stated that the attackers are not Muslims. The monarch, who spoke at the post-2014 Hajj conference at the National Mosque, challenged all stakeholders, particularly the federal government, to work towards ending insurgency in the country. The Secretary General of the Jamaat Nasrul Islam, Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, while condemning the attack, restated the need for the federal government to show more commitment towards ending the carnage in the northeast. Aliyu further called on the federal government to move from mere speech-making on the issue of ending Boko Haram to take decisive actions that will show the government are serious in its anti-terrorism campaign. The national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says it's time for Christians and Muslims to stand arm in arm against Boko Haram. This, according to him, is because the insurgent group is seeking to intimidate adherents of the two religions through wanton destruction. He also insisted in his reaction to Friday's gun and bomb attack on the Kano Central Mosque that the attack that claimed more than 100 lives couldn't have come from people who know or serve God. Tinubu added in a statement issued by his media office that Boko Haram killed people praying to God because the God of the insurgents group is Satan himself. The APC leader is also convinced that Nigeria can and will defeat the insurgents. Naval operatives from the Central Naval Command Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, have arrested 9 suspected illegal oil criminals and a vessel laden with 66,000 barrels of suspected stolen oil. The suspects were arrested through a tip-off at Eremo Field in Eremo community off Brass River in Ekeremo local government area of the state. The vessel, MT Dera 1, belonging to an oil exploration and production company, reportedly went to the Ekeremo field for product testing, but was later discovered to have illegally loaded 66,000 barrels, equivalent of 11 million liters of substance suspected to be crude oil. Paraded, the 9-member crew Salisu Jubril put the value of the crude oil at 1 billion naira and disclosed that the activities of the exploration company at the oil field was not duly approved according to Nigerian Navy's extant regulation. He said naval operatives and patrol apprehended the vessel and its crew members about 6 p.m. on Thursday. Now, aside from the number of lives that are lost daily as a result of wrong-way drive against traffic, the lasting and damaging effect it leaves has never for once registered a good memory. In order to curb the menace of traffic offenders and the problems they cause, different states have set up agencies to regulate the activities of road users and ensuring sanity on the road. A correspondent of Motayalo has more. Well, we'll bring you that report when it's ready. Away from that now, traders who stormed the nation's capital for the Abuja National Carnival with hopes of making bumper sales are now regretting their presence at this year's outing. Reasons is the near absence of participants and visitors at the show, which has rubbed off negatively on sales at the middle market that has become a regular feature of the carnival. The few customers inside are also cautious about the high price.
No market, no people, no see anybody. That people come, they look for carnival, never see the people now.
The sellers here are a bit smart. Though it appears as if it's cheap, at the end of the day, you may, if not careful, end up buying probably at a higher price than even the prevailing market rate.
You're still watching CoreTV Prime Time News. We're taking another break now. We'll be back with business, sport, and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as weak
and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
In business tonight, a former head of Department of Economics at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Abayomi Adebayo, says the austerity measures taken by the federal government to cushion the effects of the global oil price slump will inevitably lead to poverty, depression and insecurity. But Adebayo says it is normal for the masses to experience financial challenges as a result of such measures, while stressing that any human being that did not find a productive outlet for his energy will indulge in illegal activities. He says if the federal government stops subsidizing services of finance and ventures or activities due to non-availability of enough funds, the common man will have more difficulty in accessing services and funds. He explained that the economic conditions that led to the devaluation of the naira were clear signals of the performance of the economy, while adding that figures from the rebasing of the economy shows that only the trade, entertainment, and a few other sectors are growing despite diversification. He says the real sector must develop before the nation can get all-round economic development. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has advised deposit money banks on aggressive response to the increase in the monetary policy rate from 12% to 13% as regards to lending to the economy. CBN has also went bank on excessive lending rates to customers. The reports.
House Committee on Banking had earlier expressed worries over what it described as unnecessary hike in monetary policies by the CBN. Speaking at an interactive session in Lagos, the chairman House Committee on Banking allays his fears on the recent devaluation of the naira. He says the CBN has not done well in regulating the banking sector.
My issue is, I'm just thinking whether that is not a distraction. Because I remember the last time I was in a board meeting and board retreat. I pushed the issue of policy and research department, where it's necessary for CBN and CBN to look at the direct impact of their policies on the downstream. Because as representatives, we deal with this from every week. And if we speak all the big grammar and all that, and it doesn't have a direct impact on these people, we all score zero.
The CBN representative was not pleased with the allegations raised by the Chairman House Committee on Banking, so he was quick to defend his position of the CBN. He also gave reasons why the MPR and other policies had to be reviewed by the Apex Bank.
In terms of decisions of the MPR and of the MPC yesterday, that was the best we can do in this kind of circumstance. Because we have noticed that a lot of things have contributed to the pressure on Naira. Number one factor is actually the declining revenue from oil. You understand? Our revenue source is just oil in terms of foreign exchange and for this country. And when that price per barrel of oil has declined by nothing less than 25% in the last 1 month, you expect that there will be pressure on the foreign reserve. And the kind of defense you can give to the value of Naira, you cannot afford to do that again. That's the amount of money required to intervene. You understand? So we are saying we now need to get the economic value for the Naira as of today, and you must now look at which is more important to you as a central bank. We believe that the pressure on Naira, apart from the declining oil prices, is also because of liquidity in the banking industry, whereby a lot of frivolous demands for FX are being made by customers of banks.
Recently, the CBN advised citizens not to express any fear as necessary steps had been taken to regularize and stable the economy, saying the recent increase in the MPR from 12 to 13% is an attempt to stabilize the dwindling economy.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with more. Join us again.
Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Idols. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. I hope one will bless us.
Power style, and that's what he delivered. Usain Bolt storming, Puyol with a flying lead.
Go taking them out in the lead and really.
In sports now, the activities in the camp of the under-23 men's football team, Dream Team 6, will pick up this week as the coach Samson Siasia-led technical crew moves training program to the next level with more players invited from the Nigerian Premier League get set to storm the camp of the team in Abuja. Head coach Samson Siasia was quoted by the team's spokesman Timi Ebikagboro as saying that from 7th December, invited foreign-based professional players will be expected to arrive at the team's camp to join the team and commence their screening. Siasia disclosed that any home-based player who fails to report to the camp of the team between 1st and 6th of December should forget about coming to camp, as they have all been given enough opportunity to showcase their talent and earn themselves a place in the team. He added that from 8 to 11 of December, the technical crew will concentrate on looking at the foreign-based players who will be interested in playing for the country, disclosing that team's technical crew have given over 1,000 players from the locals seen enough to fight for shirts. Samson Siasia said aside the players from Enyimba FC who were invited and did not show up for the exercise, all other invited players from the Premier League honored the invitation. Manchester City boss Manuel Pellegrini saluted Frank Lampard's sterling contribution during the 3-0 win at Southampton, but insists he won't rush to secure the midfielder's future. The former Chelsea talisman was introduced midway through the second half as City led 1-0 and in trademark fashion scored from range to double his side lead at St. Mary's. However, the City chiefs insist that he will wait until December before speaking with the player on extending his loan deal from New York City FC, whom Lampard agreed to join after parting company with Chelsea last summer. And away from sports now, the World Health Organization says the death toll from the worst Ebola outbreak on record has reached nearly 7,000 in West Africa. The toll of 6,928 deaths showed a leap of just over 1,200 since the organization released its previous report on Wednesday. The UN Health Agency, however, did not provide any explanation for the sharp increase, but the figures published on its website appeared to include previously unreported deaths from the virus. The data released by the WHO, which covers the 3 hard-hit countries, reveals that just over 16,000 people have been diagnosed with the Ebola virus since the outbreak was confirmed in the forests of remote southeastern Guinea in March. Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia have accounted for about 15 deaths in the outbreak, which has touched 5 other countries according to previous WHO figures. Now, Swiss voters have in a referendum decided against drastically limiting immigration to the country. Initial projections show 74% of those participating in the referendum voted no on limiting net immigration to Switzerland to fewer than 17,000 people a year. The measure was one of 3 issues voters were to decide on, including bids to scrap special tax breaks for rich foreigners living but not working in Switzerland, and on forcing the central bank to increase its gold reserves, all of which were rejected according to the earlier results. Those in favor of limiting immigration had argued that a curb will ease pressure on the country's economy and environment. Those opposed said the curb will be bad for the economy. Just under 1/4 of Switzerland's 8 million people were born abroad, which together with Australia has the highest percentage in the world. Now, the white police officer who shot black teenager Michael Brown dead, Baron Whitson, has resigned nearly 4 months after the shooting that fueled unprecedented violent protests in the U.S. city of St. Louis and across the country. Darren Wilson, who has been on administrative leave since the August 9 shooting, has been widely expected to resign. His resignation will be welcome in Ferguson due to the difficulty of seeing him as a police officer patrolling a community that believes he is guilty of at least the wrongful death of Michael Brown. Civil rights activists have also been calling for protests to focus on changes in Missouri law to resist the use of deadly force by police and to explicitly outlaw racial profiling by officers. Marchers who are making their way 190 kilometers from Ferguson to the state capital Jefferson City over the next week are expected to make these demands. And now, just before we go, here is a quick reminder for some of the stories that made headlines tonight. Well, we told you that Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Mahmoud, promises to build on the legacies of his predecessor, Aloma Mukhtar. We also told you that the All Progressive Congress postponed its House of Assembly primaries nationwide to commiserate with victims of Kano Mosque bombing. What is it? We also reported that Ekiti State chapter of the PDP expresses optimism on the emergence of a patriotic House of Assembly after 2015 general elections. Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News tonight. Many thanks for watching. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Franco Malape, wishing you a wonderful night rest. Good night.